Hey y'all, so I decided to record a video to kind of walk you through the 21-day financial fast for those of you who are interested in doing it but either weren't able to get the book or wanted some more information on it before you started. So this is the book and I'm basically gonna go through it. I have notes and I'll be looking through the book a lot. I'm reading this as I go, so I'm definitely not an expert on it, but I wanted to give you guys some background information on it. Before starting the fast, you should think about why you're doing the fast. So I want to answer that question myself, and I'm looking at notes over here. I am doing this fast for 3 reasons. The first reason, probably the most obvious reason, is I hate owing people money, I hate borrowing money, and I want to have financial freedom. The second reason, which is probably the reason I should have listed first, because that's the reason I'm doing this, is because my mom actually gave me this book that I showed you earlier. She gave me the book, and basically voluntold me, yes, voluntold me to do the fast because she wants to get me off her payroll. And when she said that, I was kind of offended because I was like, what's that supposed to mean? I'm like, I pay for most of my stuff, but she still pays for my car and my car insurance. So I'm 26 years old now. I should be paying for that. So I'm hoping this book will get me on the right track to be able to save enough money so that I can pay for the last thing that she's paying for. I'm like, really, Mom? It's just my car. But I know I gotta do better. So, and then the third reason is I want to practice having good money habits so that if God willing, and when God willing, I have a future family, I want to instill best practices for finances so I can teach my husband and my kids, again, God willing, how to how to save money and how to live within our means. So those are my 3 reasons. So I just encourage you all to reflect on why you want to do this fast. It's better to have a purpose behind everything that we do. So make sure that you spend some time before you even do the fast, before you get the book, before you read the first page, to reflect on why you want to do the fast. Okay, so we're going to move into basically what the introduction of the book talks about. And kind of just sets the tone as to why the author Michelle Singletary, I hope I'm saying that right, how and why she developed this fast. And again, going back to the whole purpose thing, we want to make sure that we have purpose in why we're doing this fast. And she kind of explains the purpose behind doing the fast. And one of the first things she recommends is getting your financial house in order. And when I first read that, I was like, what is that? But she kind of goes into more detail explaining it. Basically, it comes down to, God forbid you were to die today or tomorrow, would your finances be in order? Meaning, do you have a will for your life, or for whoever you're leaving behind? Is there a will for your finances, for your estate, and your current financial situation? The other thing is, have you written down passwords in a secure place so that if you, again, God forbid, were to die, that your family members and your friends could access your accounts, social media accounts, your bank account, to have access to your money and to let other people know like something happened to you. And also, one of the questions she asked in getting our financial house in order kind of hit me. It was like, if you were to die, how long would it take your family or your friends to go through all of your stuff? And for anyone who's been to my house or anyone who's known me, y'all know I have a lot of stuff. Just random stuff. Like, I don't know, stuff. And if people came over to pack up my stuff or to go through it and find out what was important, find any like evidence or clues to what might have happened to me, like it would probably take them a long time, and that's not good. So one of the first things she recommends is getting your financial house in order, and she kind of talks about one of her friends who did the fast and unfortunately passed away. So she kind of had to go through that process with her friend and going to her house and going through all of her stuff and just deciding what to do with everything. And her friend really took the fast very seriously. She was a very strong advocate for the practices that follow the different days that we'll kind of observe on the fast. And just goes into explaining how she was a perfect example of someone who has their financial house in order. And it said basically that, well, she said basically, there wasn't a single junk drawer in her house. Let me read that again. There wasn't a single junk drawer in her house or her apartment. And I don't know about y'all, but I I have a lot of junk drawers. Like, my junk drawers have junk drawers. Like, it's really bad. And I don't know how it gets that way. It's like an empty drawer that you have in your kitchen. You're like, I don't know what I'm going to put in this. So you just put something random in there. And then that just becomes a place where you put all the random stuff. And if it's random and you haven't used it in a year, you probably don't need it. So you probably should throw it away. But for some reason, we feel like, oh, I might need this one day, so let me keep it. Again, just something very small that could go a long way. She just goes into detail about how her friend had everything in order, like all of her important papers were kept in a secure place. She had like a catalog written down of where each important piece of paper was stored, like her birth certificate, social security card, even a letter that she got from Obama, like sealed in plastic and stored somewhere safe. And she just cataloged where she stored all of her important papers. And I know me, whenever I'm trying to find something in like an important paper or something like that, it takes me a long time to find it because I can't remember where I put it. So I definitely feel that I need to do that in my life. She also talked about how her friend didn't even have a trash can because she didn't have that much waste. And this is the other one that got her pantry and refrigerator weren't overstocked with food that would take months to eat or go to waste. And I know that's a big thing for me. Like, if I were to go through my refrigerator right now, probably half the things in there I bought like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I can't even eat it now. Sorry, I'm eating gum. I couldn't even eat it now because it's spoiled. I know yesterday I threw away a whole loaf of bread that might have had like 2 pieces missing from it, but I don't really eat it that much. But for some reason, I felt the need to buy it, and I just so happened to look at it the other day, and it looked like a science experiment. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have bought that bread because I didn't eat it. And when we go to the grocery store, we just feel a need to, I might need this one day, or let me just get this, even though I have a whole box of cereal, let me get another box because I might have a different taste for another cereal on a Tuesday, and Wednesday I might want something else. And it's really just not necessary, and I'm tired of throwing food away, so that's something I really need to do. And just, again, making sure that we do all of this for a purpose. Being organized has multiple benefits, and you just want to make sure you're organized with a purpose. You want your life in order, so your house should also look like you want your life in order. Basically, go through your life and your house, and women go through your pocketbooks, because I'm looking at my pocketbook, and yesterday I was at the store and I was buying something, and I went to pull out my wallet. It took me like 5 minutes to pull it out because there was stuff stuffed on top of it, stuff I didn't even need. I don't know what was going to come out the purse. When I took out my wallet, like a bunch of things fell on the floor, and I was just like, this is so embarrassing. Everyone's looking at me like, why is she taking so long to pay? And I'm like, I got too much stuff in my purse. So I know that's one thing I need to organize: my purse, junk drawers, my closet, my refrigerator. It's just so much stuff. And I think that's a real big takeaway from this book is that most of us have way too much stuff we don't need, just stuff. So I'm going to be intentional about the things that I keep, I'm going to be realistic about the things that I really need and the things that I really use. So yeah, let's see what else I have notes. Okay, so that part tackles just the background on the importance of getting your financial house in order. And this whole fast kind of goes into play with that. You don't really know the status of your finances, the status of your life if everything's all chaotic. First step is to understand your financial situation and to get it in order. The second part, which I love about this book, is that again, this is the book, so I'm flipping through it. I'm not ignoring it, I'm looking down. The second part that I wanted to talk about was that this book is, again, Bible-based. So it is the key source for this book. And I didn't make that up. That's what it says. Where is it? The Bible is the key source for this book. So, as a Christian, that was very important to me. There's a lot of books out there that talk about money, and I don't really know what their foundation is based upon, but having a financial book based upon principles in the Bible is definitely important to me. Let's see. It goes on to say that the key feature of this book is a financial fast. But if you think you can do this fast on your own, you are clearly mistaken. Just having the discipline in any type of fast, fast from food, fast from social media, fast from TV, fast from anything, takes discipline, and it requires you to deny your own desires, and it really allows you to turn your focus from the things of this world on to the things that matter. It just helps you to reach out to God instead of focusing on, oh, I want this, oh, I want that, I think I need this, I think I should buy that. And if you really pay attention to how much you say that in your mind, you'd probably be surprised. I know I would. So again, this fast requires lots of obedience, and she forewarns you in the beginning that it's going to be hard, but that you can't get through it alone. So you have to rely on God, and as you should in any fast, in any day in general. This fast is for people who are fed up with their financial situation, wherever it may be. People who their finances are causing pain in their relationships with their spouse or their parents or family members or friends. It's also for people who already have good money habits and who are already good stewards over their finances, but maybe want to learn how to do things differently, or maybe they're too tight with their money and they don't get to really enjoy the fruits of their savings. So this fast is basically for anybody. So my friend is here. So if you see me like turning and smiling, there she is. It's because she's behind me, and yeah, my dogs, they're listening too. Okay, so how to use this book and why I recommended getting this book, because I don't know all the answers, and if y'all ask me a question, I'm probably going to look at this book to look at the answer, because like I said, I'm learning and reading it with you guys. If you want a better financial life, if you want to avoid financial drama, and if you want financial peace, then this is the book for you. This line really hit me in the book on page 19. God has the power to deliver financial freedom when you show him you are a responsible steward over your money. So why would he trust you with $100 if he can't trust you with $20? You know, if you give your friend $20 and it never paid you back, would you give them $100? Probably not. So yeah, it just makes sense. So moral of the story, be a good steward with your money. when you prove that you are a good steward over your money, God will deliver you from your financial freedom. So that's step one. So again, how to read this book. Supposed to read one chapter a day. Since it's 21 days, there's 21 chapters. Each chapter won't directly apply to your financial situation, but it's still good to read because you can either tell someone that you know what the takeaway from the book was or from the chapter was, or it's just good knowledge to have in case you run into a situation, even though you're not in it now. Also, each chapter includes a daily assignment, so you can apply what you learned or reflect on what you learned so that you're not just reading to be reading. You can actually practice what you're reading. And she has several tools online on her website, www.michellesingletary, sorry if I said that wrong, .com. It's right there. Yeah, at the beginning of each chapter, there's a pledge. And the pledge is basically your pledge for that chapter. So the first pledge for the first day is, for the next 21 days, I will be on a spending diet. I will not shop for anything except necessities. I will not use my credit card. I will limit or eliminate the use of my debit card. I will use cash for purchases I make during the fast. In this way, I will strive to break the chains that keep me from achieving financial freedom. And that's the pledge for day one. Let's see. So, a couple people asked why you can't use debit cards or credit cards. And there's a whole, probably page, 2 pages, page and a half on why you can't use a debit or credit card. And basically, her reasoning, which makes a lot of sense, is that when you use a debit or a credit card, it's easy to just look at the amount, swipe your card, don't think nothing of it until you get home and you look at your bank account and you're like, what happened? Because everything that you swiped your card for, in your head, you're like, okay, about that was $20. Okay, about that was another $20. You forget about something that you purchased. When you do electronically, things pinned and they're processing, and then you check your account on Friday, it says one thing, then you do a whole bunch of purchasing over the weekend, and then when you check your account on Monday and everything processed, everything that was pending, everything was processing hits your account, you start freaking out because you're like, where's all my money? Because you did everything electronically, it didn't get deducted from your account right away. So you're thinking you have more money than you do. When you use cash, you can visibly see how much money you have. And there's no pending and processing. And on Friday, I have more money than I did on Sunday when everything hits, because you'll be accounting for every single penny, every single dollar that you had. And when you have like $20 and you spend it and you're like, where'd my other $2 go? Yeah, if you're using your debit or bank card, you're not going to think that way. So when you can visibly see the money that you're spending, it makes you more accountable. And a good example that she used in the book was buying like $1,000 television. If you had to buy a $1,000 television with a debit card, it'd be pretty easy. Just swipe, take the TV, walk to your car, whatever. If you're using cash, you have to sit there and count out. Unless you're balling and got it all in the hundreds, you have to sit there and count out how much money, visibly deduct it from your current pile of money. You have to deduct that, and you can see with each dollar, like, here's $1, here's $1, here's $1. Maybe not using $1, but you get what I'm saying. You can visibly see the money being deducted, and it'll make you probably reconsider that purchase, because $1,000 in cash, that's a lot. But it's better to use cash in this regard because it helps you to become more accountable for what you're actually spending, and you can't overspend. Even if you have a debit card, you can still spend more money than you have. That's why banks made overdraft fees that we forget about, but you can still spend. Are you sleeping? But you can still spend more money than you have. If you have cash, you can only spend what you have. After that, it's gone. So that's another plus to using cash. And all the programs, not to knock anyone who has a credit card. I have a few credit cards, but all the credit cards that advertise, no, you get free this and free that. That's great. But the problem with credit cards is you tend to spend more money using your credit card than you would have if you were paying with cash because you can. And that can get you into trouble buying things that you can't afford because you can. Even if you get perks for using your debit card, the banks are still winning because you're spending more money. So they try to make you feel like you're winning, but you're really losing because you're spending more money and giving them more money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And again, I'm not an expert on this. I'm just reading what the book says. So if you want more details on that, you can read the book. I'm almost done, I promise. Let's see. So things you can and can't do on the fast. And again, this is not every do and don't because that would probably take a whole book to write. So you can buy essential items such as food and medication, personal hygiene products, and clothing items that would be required for your job. You can buy items for your family, school supplies, cleaning products for your house, and gas. Pay your rent. This is not a don't pay your rent type of fast. Pay your bills, pay the necessities, the things that you have to pay. That's it. Some don'ts. Fun part. Don't go to the mall. Don't window shop. Don't shop online. Don't browse through retail catalogs. Don't buy meals outside the home. That's a big one for me. Don't go to the movies or see a play or spend any money on entertainment. That's another big one because I organized for my dance ministry to go see Risen this weekend, and I didn't buy my ticket before the fast. So to stick to the fast, technically I can't go to the movie that I organized. So yeah, sorry guys. Don't use plastic and don't allow yourself to buy things you know you shouldn't. So when you feel the need to purchase something, ask yourself, is this a need or a want? Need as in I have to have this, or something bad is going to happen. This was the introduction in chapter 1. That's why it's so long. Or the 5 tips that she recommends at the end of chapter 1. Get a journal so you can record what you're feeling and things like that. Record your progress so you can look back over it later. 2 is review your progress. 3, get a highlighter so you can highlight different passages in the Bible as they come to pass or as they come to your mind as you're going through the fast or throughout the day. Get an accountability partner. So I started a GroupMe with a couple of people who are doing the fast so we can hold each other accountable. So if you want to be added to that, you can message me on Instagram or on Facebook and I'll add you to the GroupMe. Today's day 1, so I just created it. And then start each day with the PAY regimen, the acronym. P is for pray. Pray before you read each chapter and ask God to open your mind and heart to reveal to you how to better handle your finances. The A stands for act. So act on the pledge listed at the start of each chapter. The pledge I read at the beginning. Act on that. Don't just read it. And the last one, Y, yield. Yield to God's will, not your own. Yeah, and that's basically it. The daily assignment for day 1 is to make a list of any potential obstacles that may prevent you from sticking to the fast, and then decide how to eliminate them. For example, instead of putting your credit cards in a drawer or file cabinet, freeze them. Yes, that's what I said. Put the cards in the freezer. That's what one person did so that she wouldn't be tempted to use her cards. If you're a shopaholic, you may need to change your driving patterns so that you don't go near your favorite shopping places. Take this pledge and then sign your name on the line below. And then it has the pledge and you can sign your name. So yeah, that is the end of the introduction in chapter 1. So if you haven't already and you want to join us, this is the book. And did she just jump off the couch? This is the book. I think you can get it on Amazon. My mom got it for me. Thanks, Mom. On barnesandnoble.com. You can also get it in the store. If you have a Kindle, you can download it that way too. That's it for day 1, chapter 1, and the introduction. If you have any questions, you can write them below. I always wanted to do that. You can write them below, or you can direct message me on Instagram or Facebook. My Instagram for now, I really don't like social media. My Instagram for now is a little bit _ of Jessica. And you can DM me any questions that you have about the fast. If you want to be added to the group me, you can DM me your phone number and I'll add you. And I think that's it. I look forward to doing this fast with you guys and read chapter 2 so that you can practice what the pledge is tomorrow. And that's it. So, bye guys.